Greetings, Judah. DFG, Gideon's Flight. Hey guys, I want to take a little time and just break down an event that happened recently. I think it was a dry run, to say the least. And I'm talking about January 6th and the so-called, resistance or rebellion or uprising that happened in D.C. And I think this is something that we as a people have not taken time to really analyze carefully the significance of that. Far too often, we're easily distracted. We're manipulated by mainstream media, by agents among us to keep us distracted and focused on things that are surely not important in regards to self-preservation, important as it relates to nation building, importance as to making sure that we are practicing the necessary discipline to survive in the storm that's coming, and it's coming very, very soon. And by the way, you are sitting right at the center of impact. And I'm talking about Israel, and I'm talking about Judah, the people of Yah. And this tsunami, this tidal wave, this I'm trying to think of the hurricane that's coming, guys. It is going to be, it's coming from the heathens. And they're coming with one intention in mind. Again, to eliminate us. Even the book tells us about this. You go to the book of Revelation, it talks about the battle of Armageddon, when all of the nations of the world will come together to annihilate the people of Elohim. It's in the book. And many of you guys, I know some of you guys have heard about the battle of Armageddon. I'm sure you've heard it before. You've probably heard somebody touch on it here or there. And many of us, when they talked about this, we assumed that they were talking about, the Khazarians. The Akanas, how do you pronounce it? Azanasi, I guess, something like that. In other words, white folk, passing themselves off as us, stolen identity thieves, for lack of a better word. And before you, get hot-headed and want to attack me, then why don't you do this? Why don't you go to Revelations? I'm talking about saying that what I'm saying is untrue, that these are not fake people. Then why don't you go to the book, especially if you call yourself a believer. You so-called Christians out there, you believe in the word of Yah. I believe in everything. I believe the word of Yah is true. I believe, the Messiah has, inspired men, or Yahuwah, or God, using your word, inspired men to write this book. Okay, so you believe all of that, then go to Revelations 2 and 9 and 3 and 9 and see that it is even written that these fake, false demons would put themselves in our place pretending to be us. You can go to Revelation chapter 1, and it will tell you what Yeshua looked like. And certainly he did not look like those folk. He was not pale skinned. He was not colorless. But I digress. I want to stay right here. Let's stay right here in the book. Understanding, in the message which I will give you from the book. But how this dry run in D.C. was them letting you know that at some point in the very near future, and they know when it is, they're going to come out, they're going to attack, and it's going to be mass slaughter. We, the people of Elohim, are going to be blamed for whatever viciousness, whatever pain or suffering or misery that they're going through. They are going to make our people to blame for it. And that's why I have told you, Yah said, the time will come that you need to sell your purse, you need to sell your coat, and get yourself a weapon, or weapons. I've said this to you time and time again. And many of you guys have acted on it, praise Yah, but a bunch of you guys are sitting around saying, oh, that's not going to happen. But you do know that January 6th happened. Where did those people come from? They came from all over the United States of America. How many of you, talking about you Israelites, you Judah, how many of you knew in advance that those people were going to march on Washington like they did at the Capitol building? How many of you knew that? Let me see a raise of hands. How many knew in advance that they were going to do it? I suspect none of you knew it because they kept it between themselves. And this is exactly how it's going to happen when this dry run becomes the real deal. Yahuwah said that they're going to say peace and safety, and then sudden destruction is going to come. In other words, they're going to catch us unawares. Not all of us, because some of us are watching them as they watch us. Some of our eyes are open. But here's what I will say to you. Because some of you guys, you underestimate the viciousness of these people. Yeah, you see the police shootings, and you see the hangings, and you see all of that stuff going on. But you still somehow or another distance yourself from this. You say you don't, but you do. Because if you were embracing this and you were really understanding the significance of what's happening right in front of your eyes, i.e., the killing of George Floyd, right in front of your eyes, the shooting down of the 13-year-old, I don't know what he was, but Hispanic boy, the shooting of the man who, in the car, Dante Wright, you see this stuff right in your eyes. And many of you still refuse to accept what you see. You think these are coincidence or isolated incidents. That's a better word. But they're not. They are dry runs, my brothers and sisters. What they're showing you is that they are Confederate. The police department, I'm not talking, because there are some of us on that department who are going to have to make a decision really soon. So some of you Judites and, you Israelites on the police force, you had better come to a reckoning right now that it's time for you to change your profession, or y'all going to judge you right along with the rest of the devils. It is time for you to make a decision, my brothers and my sisters. Obviously, you're not a part of the killing, but then again, I got to be careful with that because some of you are part of the killing. There are Judas Iscariot among us, so pardon my error, or my error in that statement. Because even if you're a Confederate, if you know about it and you're still a part of it, then you're Confederate with them. But my bigger point is that the police department is Confederate with militias, which are Confederate with mob rule in the United States, which simply means white men rule. That's what mob rule looks like, white men rule. And these mobs did a dry run again to show all of us that the police who were with them, I might add, and the police who were there who did not do anything, to try to stop them, I might add. The judicial system that for the most part has just kind of looked the other way. They made a couple of sacrificial lambs just to make it look like, they're going to act on it. But there was no true accountability, because true accountability means that they would have had guns and tanks out there, to stop them. And I didn't see any guns. I didn't see any tanks. Because like they say, this is their country. This is a white man's country, a white man's rule. And the laws are there to protect them, but those same laws that protect them are those same laws that they use to oppress us. When you see on those police cars to protect and serve, talking about white folk. Mainly white businesses. Because they don't protect and serve you. They arrest and lock us up. Excuse me. Oh, and kill us, maim us, wound us, or physically abuse us, rape us, etc. But again, I digress. This is not about the police. This is about what is coming and how that it is time for you, my sisters and brothers, to build up your resolve. And you might say, well, DFG, what kind of resolve are you talking about? I'm talking about the type of resolve that will cause you to resist unto death. And you say, well, that's, resist unto the death for what? For the Torah, for the truth, for separation, for Israel's sake. Be willing to die. You would be the first that's willing to die for the truth. And by the way, Yah expects you to die for the truth. And yes, I did say that Yah expects you, me, to die for the truth, if necessary. The book is full of martyrs who did. You think that you're the exception? Why would we be the exception? If Yah doesn't change, why would our forefathers be martyred, slaughtered, murdered by mobs, I might add, and yet Yah would spare this wicked generation, which by far was worse than the prior generations, By far this generation is much, much more wicked or wickeder. The abominations that are going on right now would make, 100 years ago or 20 years ago, what was happening then, quite frankly, would make them look like angels, with all of the slavery and everything else included. Oh, yes, our people were oppressed, maimed, killed, murdered. We know that. That's no question about it. There's document, and I got some evidence to show you today to back that up, how our people have been treated. But in terms of wickedness amongst Judah, wickedness amongst Israel, and debauchery throughout the land, we're at the point that we're at the days of Noah now, where Yah destroyed the whole earth. We're at the days of Sodom and Gomorrah, where Yah destroyed cities. That's where we are right now. That's the kind of wickedness that we're dealing with. And you don't think that Yah is going to have martyrs here? You don't think that many of us are going to have to be willing to die or put in a situation where we may have to die for the faith, for this walk, for this confession? You had better learn how to steel yourself up, my sisters and brothers. And you can't steel yourself up if you're not in this word and studying and learning and understanding and calling on Yah to give you, the heart, not only to resist unto the death, but the heart to stand, and after you've done everything, to stand. Which I guess is the same thing, resist unto death. The saints talked about it in Revelation. They were asking, the Most High, when will he judge this earth? You know what he told the saints in Revelation? Go back and read. I want to say it's around Revelations 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, somewhere in there. But the saints are saying, how long before he judged this world? You know what Elohim said to the saints? Till your brothers and sisters are persecuted like you were. Until they were martyred like you were. And he was talking about this generation, this last generation. And so I'm going to give you something right here to let you see just how strong our ancestors had been and how vicious the enemy of our people were towards our people for keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yah. Many of our ancestors died for convictions and for principles and values inside of this book. Because they understood to disobey or to walk away from the book was walking away from Yah. Walking away from the Torah, the laws, the commandments is walking away from Yah. It makes you a heathen. Yeah, an Israelite heathen. A Yehudi heathen. And the heathens will have their part in the lake of fire, which burneth with brimstone. Revelation chapter 21. Start around verse 8. Read it for yourself. There are other places too. But let me give you an example of what happened, and the kind of conviction that it would take, is going to take. And that's why, guys and ladies, you got to get stilled up right now. You have to get your mind right. You got to get your walk right, your talk right. If you can't go a day without eating, you can't go a day without television or social media, you're in trouble. If you can't walk 5, 10, 15 miles in a day, you're in trouble. I am telling you, you are in serious trouble. Because see, when they start running you out of some of these communities and out of some of these cities, many of our people are going to have to travel on foot. Now, you've already heard them talking about gasoline shortages and stuff coming in the summer. And all these other things. We talked about inflation and prices rising like you would not believe. This is all a plot to eliminate, put our people in harm's way again. Because see, all these small business owners, most of those people serve our communities. Most of these small business owners are in the urban communities. And when they can't service, then guess what? That's going to put us in harm's way. I mean, yes, harm's way, because we're not going to have access to the things we need, especially if you don't have resources to buy expensive gasoline. That's probably going to be $9, $10, $12 a gallon or higher before this thing is over with. How many of you guys can afford that? 1 gallon of gas for $12. But you haven't prepared. You're not physically ready. You're not spiritually ready. You're damn sure not dietary ready. You're not working out. You're not exercising. You're just sitting down, comfortably, with your excuses about why you can't. And everything that you say, and I'm telling you to your face, somebody loves you who needs to tell you the truth. There is no reason for you not to get in shape. There's no excuse. Some of us are working 50-hour-a-week jobs, and we are still finding time to go and get exercise. Whether it's walking on parks, roads, trails, whatever it is. Round the block, you just walk around your block 30 times. Walk around your block for an hour and a half. It'll probably be about 4 or 5 miles by the time you finish. Train yourself, continue. Go 2 times, then 5 times, then 8 times. Ultimately, your body will catch its rhythm. Your endurance will start to build up. And again, there's no excuse. I saw a 2-year-old girl. A 2-year-old girl. Down here in Louisiana, New Orleans, there's a levee along the so-called Mississippi River. I saw this little girl literally walk and run, almost 3.5 miles. You heard what I said, walk and run. She did more running than what? 2 years old. 2. Never stopped. I had to stop the kid. The kid was going to go the whole 5 miles. I had to say, no, it's getting dark. We got to go. So if a 2-year-old can run almost 4 miles, you can? What's your excuse? And I'm saying to you, guys, because you got to get yourself ready. What are you going to do if mobs start to come in our communities and we got to come together and we got to leave? Because you can only fight off so many of them, and you should be fighting them off. I am definitely not telling you to resist and surrender to them, because what they're going to do to you, as I'll show you what they've done to some of our ancestors. What they're going to do to you, you had better be fighting and moving. You had better be able to fight, and you had better be able to move. And I'm not talking about this kind of fighting. This kind of fighting ain't going to get you nowhere. You can be the baddest son of a gun in the world. You're not going to beat off 8 or 9, 10, 12, 15 attackers. You can forget about that. They'll stomp your ass to death. You might get 1 or 2 licks in, and that's going to be it. It's going to be over for you. You're going to have a weapon. You're going to have to be willing to take them down. Why are you moving? Why are you escaping if necessary? That's, again, why we need armed communities. I'm not talking about these stupid niggas walking around with guns talking about they're in a gun club, but all that food. I'm talking about men and women of conviction, all together with one purpose and one cause, self-preservation under the name of Elohim. And let Elohim be your protector, your guide. While you shoot, he behind you with this heavenly host backing you up. But he ain't gonna back no cowards up. Go again, Revelation 21. The fearful and the unbeliever. A coward is a fearful person. And if you're a cowardly, I'm telling you, if you're afraid of these people, you're afraid to get weapons, you're afraid to protect yourself, your family, then you are considered a fearful person, and a fearful person is going to burn. Literally and in the next life at judgment. They're going to kill your ass here because you're afraid. Your fear is not going to stop them from stumping you to death or beating you to death, hanging you, raping you to death, whatever. That's not going to stop them. But you're going to go to hell for it too. Because you should have stood and you should have been ready and you should have fought. But just like the people in Noah, they got caught unawares because they were distracted with the cares and the issues of life. Sodom and Gomorrah, because of their debauchery. You know the whole thing about what was going on there, from sodomite to pedophilia to incest, you name it, they were doing it. Extortion, they were doing it all. And that fire came down on their ass, and none of them knew what was happening. It was the exception of Lot and his daughter and his wife. And as you all know, she left, but she didn't leave. So I am saying to you guys again, you need to have yourself stilled up. And you're not going to be stilled up if you're not strong in the word, so that this word can give you the courage, the knowledge, and the wisdom, and the relationship with Yah. So when the Rahuk starts to guide you and move you, you can, as old fighting terminology, stick and move. So you can stick and move. And ladies, this message is to you as much as it is to the men out there. A lot of you women out there, you're single. Who's going to protect you when a January 6th event happens on your street? Have you given that any consideration? Have you given that, who's going to protect your children? That's a question I'm asking you single mothers out here. You single women who don't have children, who's going to protect you and your mothers? Who's going to protect you and your children? Who are you relying on? Who do you know that has the velocity and the tenacity, the grit, the fire spirit, that meanness when it's time to get mean and tough and hard? Who do you have to protect you and who can service you? And again, physically, mentally, and spiritually prepared to do it. I'm not talking about some man in your house. If that nigga ain't in shape, he's sitting around there eating corn chips and hamburgers and hot dogs and crawfish and all kind of dead animals, pigs included, filthy, the most filthiest beast on the planet. He got all that shit in his system. He ain't gonna be able to pop a goddamn grape. That nigga, he gonna run and leave y'all. I know he say he's not. That nigga gonna run and leave. Or the first time he got to move any kind of way. His ass ain't in shape. Look at him. Go look at him. Go look at him. He in shape? That one? The one who's supposed to be protecting you guys? He can't do a 4 day's work without coming on and flopping his ass down and turning on the PlayStation game. That nigga ain't got no strength in him. Not that one. Now, if you got a man that don't have no time for that, and he's out there, doing his work, whatever that work is, and he's healthy and he's strong, his mind is strong, he's taking time, he's thinking, he's spending time thinking women. That man needs to be using thinking. Watch his ass. If you don't see him sitting around thinking about things, then that joker is a silly, foolish idiot. That joker ain't gonna be able to protect. He's not even gonna be able to protect himself. How he gonna protect you? And you women who have nobody, you're just as bad as having that, and you're probably better off having nothing than to have that joker. Just telling you the truth. He's so emotionally distraught. You can't say 2 words from him without him breaking down and crying and shouting and hollering and doing all kind of sissified, effeminate, emasculated shit. Anything go wrong, he having a major crisis, a meltdown. Not him. He can't take a little heat. Somebody look at him funny, he want to fight. I'm talking about men after Yah. Men who Yah can put his spirit, and these men become like Samson. They're taking down hundreds of men at one time. Like David, 10,000. Saul, even 1,000. Like Simeon. And I think it was Simeon and Reuben, when their sister was raped, they went out there, they killed a whole goddamn city of men behind their sister. A whole city, 2 men killed every last one of their asses. And there are other events throughout the book of Joshua that will tell you about that. That's why you need to have that apocryphal book. I've warned you, and I've told you guys many times. They hid these books because they didn't want us to know what was really going on. They didn't want us to know who we are, the people of Elohim. They were hiding our book from us so that they can manipulate us by putting up their own book, given by the New Testament, and selected books of the Torah, so that they would always be able to claim that they were the people, that other group were the people, and we were just some lucky spiritual Jews, maybe if we bow down and kiss homosexual white Jesus' ass. If we would humble ourselves and kiss his ass, give him a blowjob, then we could get in too, men and women. Because after all, that's the homosexual lifestyle, right? Ass fucking and dick sucking. And I know some of you are like, ooh, you vulgar. No, I'm not vulgar. I'm just telling you the truth. How the hell that's vulgar? You hate me because I tell you the truth? But this book and these apocryphal books are there to help us, to inform us, so that we can get back into the knowledge of who we are, so we can turn our faces back to Elohim, and Elohim can come and call his elect out of here. His elect, not all of us. His elect. Sisters, let me talk to you again. Are you with a man that is the elect of Yah? I say elect. I ain't talking about a man who believes. The devil believes. You can't say, well, I know he believes in God, but the devil believes and tremble. The devil, Satan and his demons have a healthy reverence for Elohim. Does that man that you call your husband or your mate, your spouse, your provider, your protector, your lover, whatever, is he ready for the battle? Is he ready for the battle? I'm not talking about he's going to have his weapon, but he's going to need more than them weapons when the fight started. When these heathens coming, they're coming. Is he ready? I suspect, he's not the elect. So guess what? If you're living in a house and the man is not the elect of Yah, that means your family is going to go down with him. So if he's not the elect, you're not the elect. Because Yah's not gonna miss his ass and take you when you done matched up with him. How can two walk together except they agree? Remember? If y'all together, then y'all in agreement. You need to vet that devil. You need to look. You need to vet that man to see if he's a devil. Let me say that the right way. Sister, you need to vet that man to see if he's a devil. And you say, well, how would I know that? Easy. Does he love the book? Does he love Yah? Is he teaching you about Yah? Is he training up your children about Yah? Because those are the responsibility of the man of Yah. That's his first responsibility. To teach you and your children. Husbands, teach your wives at home. Fathers, train up your child in the way he shall go. But that's book. That's book. That's right written in this book. Is he teaching you? Who's teaching you, sisters? Again, is your man teaching you? If he's not teaching you, he's not the elect. And he's going to cause you to die, when your judgment comes. I'm not talking about final judgment. I'm talking about when these heathens come. Because they're coming. The book says they're coming. They know they're coming. They're just waiting for the right time. They've always blamed us when this country has been in a crisis. They have always taken out their evil on Judah. Always. It's in their nature. Their parents did it. Their great-great-parents, grandparents did it. Then the grandparents or those grandparents did it. It's their history. They want to get you to believe, well, that was the past. No, their grandfathers, who were the past did it. And then their grandfathers, they did it too. So if they've been doing it generation after generation after generation, what in your right mind would make you think they're going to stop at this generation? Why would they stop? We're looking at them shooting and killing and murdering our people all over the damn country. And nobody getting held accountable, giving them bullshit sentences, bullshit indictments. Just enough to keep us passive, sedated, sitting at home. Oh, and why, by the way, encouraging us to get even more sedated, with this thing. I've seen some people recently got this thing, and these people are acting weird. Heat breaking out in sweat, whole bodies aching, nauseated, acting strange and weird. I'm just telling you, you do what you want to do. But my body is the temple of the Rahuk. And ain't nothing going in my body that's not naturally supposed to be there. And if it goes in there because of my ignorance, then it's my ignorance. But I ain't ignorant about us being a target. That's well understood by all of us that they've made us the targeted group. So anybody who participates in that, you're doing that of your own free will or you're doing it out of fear. And both of them are an abomination against Yah. Your body is the temple of the Rahuk. If you're going to make it and you're going to be the elect, then that means the spirit of Elohim has to live inside of you, has to already be living inside of you. My sister, my brother, already it's supposed to be living inside of you. And again, some of you, if it's not there, then you're asking, how do I get it? It's called repentance. It's called turning away. It's called reject. It's called, yeah, okay, I'm done with this crap. I'm yours. Leave me, guide me. He's going to take you right here. And then he's going to put you in front of teachers. Like myself and many others. He'll give you, some of you sisters, he'll give you sisters to teach you. And he'll give you men to teach you. Husbands to teach you. And then you're going to grow in your knowledge. You're going to grow in your resolve. You're going to grow in your strength. And you will be selected of Elohim to be protected. But you're still going to have to, be willing to die for the cause. And that's just the truth. There's no other way to tell you. There's no other way to, it's going to happen. If you follow this channel, I shared with you the other day, it's talking about 1 out of 4 people on this planet are going to die from violence, from sickness, and when that third seal, that fourth seal is open. Again, Revelation talks about it, but other books talk about it as well. Daniel talks about it. Enoch talks about it. Jasher talks about it. It's in all the books, just about. You just have to look for it. Matthew talks about it. Luke talks about it. It's there. The question is, are you going to be prepared? Have you stored up reserves? Talking about food, water, medicine, blankets, heaters. Not heaters, because heating ain't going to do no good if you don't have no electrical power. Ammunition, weapons. Again, sisters, I got to warn you. For some reason, I have this heart to tell you over and over and over again, sisters. Look around and ask yourself the question, who is going to protect you when that mob comes down your street? Or catch you while you're at work, or you can't get out? Who's going to come and get you from your job to get you home safely? Who? Where is he? What's his name? And is Elohim backing him up? Does he have a genuine, true relationship with Elohim? If that nigga is a Christian running in these damn churches, breaking news, he is not. That joker is practicing idolatry, and Yah is not. Think about it. We're the most religious people on the damn planet, talking about the so-called Negro here in America, right? Way more religious than anybody else. Yet we're at the very bottom of everything that's measurable in terms of, success, prosperity. Why would that be? If Christianity was the right thing for us, then Christianity works for the white people, for the Asians, for the others. Their religions work for them. In other words, they grow, they benefit, they are blessed in their religion. And you can see it throughout their countries. But us, we have practiced their religion, and we have been, we've been cursed. The only one that's benefited is the damn wicked-ass preachers, evangelists, and money changers who work inside of these churches, who are agents for the government, teaching you lies. Knowingly teaching you lies. And many of you keep running right on in there. If that's the guy you're talking about, he's not going to protect you either. There's nothing in that man. That man is religious. He'll get in front of you and sing a Christian song, get in church and stomp his feet and rock and run around the church, hollering and screaming and all emotional, fainting and falling out like a goddamn, hysterical female who just had a tragic event. That motherfucker. Well, my apologies, my brothers and sisters. That was a little bit too strong even for DFG to be using in this message. But that rascal is not going to do it for you. He's going to abandon you. He's going to run. As soon as somebody breaks in the door, first of all, he don't have anything to protect you guys with. Probably if he does have it, don't know how to use it. And secondly, he ain't going to see it coming. Or he'll see it coming, but he'll be sitting there looking for the police. There ain't going to be no police. No police is coming for us. Police going to be with them. Police not going to protect you, sisters. You call 911 till your fingers fall off. They're not coming. Now again, if you don't have a man of Yah in your household, a man of Yah in your inner circle, then be prepared for the worst death you can imagine. And I think some of you sisters can be pretty creative. Some of that shit you watch on television, mayhem, mass murder, killing, and all that shit. Just imagine you being there when it happens, and you're one of the victims. Is that a clear enough picture for you? Just know that's what's going to end up happening if you don't do something right now. You had better, again, find you someone who are standing with Yah. You ain't got to marry up with them. You don't have to even be dating them. But there needs to be a united relationship with them where you can trust them and they can trust you. And you're contributing to them. I'm not talking about with your money. I'm talking about in other ways, contributing. Any kind of way you can be contributing to them. Sometimes just an encouraging word. Again, be a follower. You know what I'm saying? On these channels. Many of us are encouraged when we see your comments. And sometimes, a little concern when it's quiet out there. And again, let me say this while I'm thinking about some of you brothers who verbalize, that you're there, even though I don't know you or know you're there, that you're there. And I appreciate you for that. Just so you know. I don't miss that. I see it. I also see those snakes out there who want to call me the worst racist in Donald Trump. That's a flat out lie. The agents are pissed off because I'm calling their hands on their bullshit about we're attacking them. That's a flat out goddamn lie. We have been the biggest financial supporter of those people since they've come to this damn country. And many of us died in their country so they could, some of them, so their fathers or their parents can come to this damn country. I don't know what the hell they're talking about. I'm not a racist, but do I love the people of Elohim? Am I pro my people? You're damn right I'm pro my people. I don't put nobody before Judah and Israel. Nobody. Definitely not no damn heathens and Gentiles. But I have respect for them as long as they have respect for me. But that's not going to keep me silent. I'm not, what the hell that look like? All kinds of lies being told out here that we're victimizing them, and I'm just supposed to say nothing about that? A real man going to speak his piece. He's going to make it loud and clear. He's going to call your hand on it. A real man calls out bullshit when he sees bullshit. He's not a coward. He doesn't run away from confrontation. He runs up to it and deals with it. That's the spirit of Rahuk. That's the courage that the Rahuk gives a man. And you too, sisters, it gives you the same courage too, but not in rebellion, not in running off of your mouth and talking, disrespecting your men. That the courage Yah give you is you to stand with that man, locked and loaded with him, not going at him. I don't give a shit if he's a shitty ass man. You got no business going at him. Separate from him, cut his ass loose if you're really intelligent, but you're not supposed to be going toe to toe with no men. That's a lesbian spirit that's gonna get you hurt one day. You need to cut that out before it's too late. You see, the police shot that little 16-year-old girl 4 damn times because she thought that they wouldn't kill her because she was a female. I guarantee you that thought never entered her mind that she was about to get her ass blown away. People are not playing. These heathens and Gentiles are not playing. They're coming for the kill. And this is in their nature. The book tells us that. They are a murderer from the very beginning. We talked about that a couple of days ago when we were looking at the book of John. I think it's John chapter, I want to say it's either 8 and 45 or 9 and 45. And Yah or 44. And Yah made it clear who these people were. They are what they are. There ain't no change in them. They can't help it. They can't help being murderers and liars and killers no more than a damn dog can resist being a dog. Whatever's in the nature of a dog to do, that's what the dog gonna do. Whatever's in the nature of these heathens to do, that's what they gonna do. And whatever the nature of these Gentiles do, that's what they going to do. They can't get away from it. That's Yah's description of who they are. He made them. Well, he didn't make them. The fallen ones made them. But that's the judgment on them. All right, so don't expect anything from them outside of to do what's in their nature to do. And their nature is killing us. They get a certain amount of pleasure from that. Have you noticed? Where's their outcry when we get started? I ain't talking about that bullshit, Black Lives Matter, marching and walking and just making riots, just throwing bricks and shit and hiding their hand. We ain't talking about that. I'm talking about why are they in the judicial system making laws and passing laws? They pass them for the Asians. They pass them for the gays. They pass them for themselves. Why aren't they passing them for the immigrants? Why aren't they passing them for us? You never think about that, sisters and brothers? They're not passing it for us because you are the target. Why would they put laws in place to protect the ones they're targeting? That's like a deer hunter, putting up little, what you call that, silhouettes of hunters with guns all over the trail where the deer is going to walk. And expect that he's going to be getting a deer that day. I don't think so. You are the target. Therefore, you are not going to be protected. We're the target. We are not going to be protected. We never have been protected from them devils. Except when Yah has came in and interceded and wiped them out by the thousands or the tens of the thousands and sometimes by the hundreds of the thousands. And that was when our people were united. But us being so discorded now and disunited now and so fractured and shattered, well, we can't even have a decent conversation. We can't even have decent teachings going on in our own homes. How can y'all ever come and unite and empower us to fight these devils? The way it is right now, it's every man for himself. I'm talking about the man and Yah. So you're not by yourself. The book tells that Yah plus one is a majority. That's a male statement, sisters. That's not a female statement. You need to be covered. You need a covering. That's just his way of protecting you. You're way too vulnerable. You're not big enough. You're not strong enough. You're not going to be able to fight like that like a man can fight for you, a man in his right mind. You're vulnerable. They can hit you in certain parts of your body and you're done, and you know that. They grab your children and you know you're done. You know, you could be at the time of the month and you already cramped up and got migraines. How you going to fight off these demons too? You need a covering, sister. This is love talk to you. You need a covering. Stop fooling yourself like you don't. Many of our ancestors made the mistake of trusting the Gentiles, and these Gentiles turned on them and slaughtered them. I'm going to show it to you in a minute. All right? But let me get on into the book, because I'm talking about what resolve looks like now. Brothers, can I focus on you all for a moment? This is the kind of resolve that you're going to have for the Torah. In other words, to stand by the Torah. Watch what I'm about to read to you. This is 2 Maccabees. This is 2 Maccabees chapter 7. Another, this book was left in Catholicism. It's strange it was left in the Catholic, so-called Bible. But the Protestants got rid of it. But it is an official book. It's an authentic book. I guess the priest and the Pope, they never thought people would ever understand Latin, and they probably didn't realize that someday God would open our knowledge, and somehow or another we would figure this stuff out. So I guess they didn't care to hide it. I'm sure they regret it now, but hey, it is what it is. We know now, so you can't take it back. It's out the box. Like, you can't put it back in the box now. Praise Yah for us that's the situation. 2 Maccabees chapter 7. And it came to pass that 7 brothers and their mother were taken. They were taken by the law, by the government, so-called police, security, whatever you want to call them. All right, the sheriff, whomever, the constables. It came to pass that also that 7 brothers and their mother were taken, and they were compelled or told by the king to go against the Torah. The king told them, the person in charge said, you go against the Torah, and here's how he wanted them to go against the Torah. Now, I know some of you guys, what do you want to do? I don't know, curse Yah? What do you want them to do? To dishonor their parents, to not obey the Passover, to denounce, Christ, or whatever the hell. That's a dumbass statement, but a lot of these idiots would tie that in. No. Plus, Yeshua is not in no damn Torah. I know they say, well, what about what Isaiah 9 and 6 is talking about? And what about Isaiah 54, 55, by stripes? Okay, look. Yes, it is talking about a Messiah, one to come. But they ain't talking about no damn Jesus. Jesus is the name of an earth pig. Jesus is a homosexual. His real name is Caesar Bulgaria. He was a gay nephew of one of these goddamn popes, all right? He was a lover, the homosexual lover of Michelangelo, okay, brothers? All right? So there ain't no damn Jesus written in here. No damn way. Well, except for where they falsified him and put him in there. First Maccabees tell you about that, I might add. They made a graven image of themselves, and they stuck it in the book. Let me give you right now verse and chapter for that, so you can go see that for yourself. Praise Yah. You need to know what that is. Just so again, if you've been following this channel, and praise God for you, I'm glad you're following the channel, then you would already know this. But it's First Maccabees. I'm going to have to read to you when I'm reading you about the 7 brothers. That's 2 Maccabees, okay, guys? This is First Maccabees. First Maccabees, chapter 3, verse 48, verse 48. It says, and they laid open the cipher, all right, the cipher. They laid open the cipher of the Torah, wherein the heathen tried to paint the likeness of their images. They tried to put their images in our book. And you saw it with white Jesus, or black Jesus, or any goddamn kind of Jesus, Spanish Jesus. All of them the same damn homosexual. Our messenger is Yahuwah. And he's not Elohim, by the way. That's another lie that they like to tell. He came for a purpose. To bring forth the truth. to guide us back to Elohim. He was a messenger. And the book describes him as a messenger. Okay, but let's get back. Second Maccabees, chapter 7. And may Yah bless my throat where I don't get too dry of a throat and I can keep on reading without continual coughing. I ask this of you, Elohim. And it came to pass that seven brethren with their mother were taken to jail. So sisters, you're not going to be spared. A lot of you women think, hey, the police, I already told you. You see what they're killing women now. They're killing our women now. Y'all see this, ladies. You're not going to be spared. Now the police, your 911 rescuer, your hero, your social worker, your husband tamer, your man tamer is now killing you. He's turned on you like all vicious animals will at given time. A hungry bear will leave you alone. But if that bear gets hungry, your ass is going to be dinner if he finds you, if he can get his claws on you. So they took, not only did they take her son, they took her too. So mothers, you're not going to be spared of this. Just so you know. That's why I'm talking to you too. You better be, sisters, you better listen. Mothers, you need to listen. It came to pass that the seven brothers with their mother were taken, and they were compelled by the king to go against the Torah. And this is what I was about to say. What you say? Well, what law did they violate? What did the king want them to do that went against Elohim, went against the book, the law, statutes, and commandments, the Torah, the laws? What was it that they wanted these people to violate? Guess what it was? Eating pig, eating pork. Yeah, pork. The king wanted them to eat pork. This is how strong Yah's commandment is for us not to be eating things that eat garbage and eat people, eat. I saw a video the other day where they took a giant rat that was full of maggots and they threw it down in the middle of pigs, and them pigs were fight them, they're killing each other to eat that damn rat with the maggots, and ate all of it. And you're eating that thing. I just told you earlier in this message, you got to get your body strong and healthy. Pork is poison food for Judah, for Israel. That's why Yah doesn't want us to eat it. The heathen, at least the Gentiles, can eat that. They can eat. That's not going to harm them. It'll give them some problems, but not the problems it's going to give us. That's death food for you, sisters and brothers. Your barbecue rib, your pork chops, your ham sandwiches, your pork patties, your pork sausage, your pig lips, your pig tips, your pig feet. That's death food for you. You're not supposed to eat that. And these men with their mother were trained the right way. They were Judah. They were our people. When you read this book and you go and read, they were Judah. They were us. And they did not eat pigs. They knew better. And the king now is going to try to go in violation of Yah by telling them, I want you to eat this pig. Here's the rest of the story. And they were compelled against the Torah, to go against the Torah and taste pig's flesh. And they were tormented with scourges and whips. In other words, they were beating them with canine tails, trying to make them do it, and they would not do it. The mother wouldn't do it, nor would the sons do it. They were whipping her ass like they were whipping the son's ass too. And these were grown men, by the way. Well, they were, well, they were, I guess, I don't know what age they were. All right? They didn't tell you what they were, but she had 7 sons. I'm sure they weren't infants. Matter of fact, I know they weren't, because you'll hear the story in a moment. I think I'll take the liberty and say they were young men. All right? So I suspect that mom probably in her mid-40s, late 40s, and her sons were probably in their 20s. Late teens, 20s. 7 of them. And it came, verse 2. After they were beating them and whipping them. Sound familiar? Who else were getting beat and whipped? Can you say those of us who were enslaved by the Europeans here? on Turtle Island, so-called America. See, I told you guys, nothing changed with these people. They were doing it, 1,000 years ago. They were doing it 100 and, 180 years ago. And they're doing it now. They're doing it now. They're using sticks and their phones. I mean, their flashlights, their boots, their guns. But they're doing it now. Kicking you when you're on the ground, doing all. They're still doing it. And when they get you inside these prisons or inside these damn precincts, many of our brothers get natural born ass whippings in there. Sisters too. Sandra Bland, who was a sister, who was a Judite sister, they hung her in prison, sisters. And it was not. Y'all need to look up Sandra Bland. That was not that long ago. They hung her in there for failing. I think for failing to put a traffic light on, for not having a seatbelt. I think she didn't have on her seatbelt. And it escalated from her not having a seatbelt to him grabbing her, snatching her out of the car, and a couple of days later, her being dead. So if you think that you're not a target too, my sisters, you better think again. It's time for you to rethink that. You are a target. And your babies too, I might add. But one of them spoke first and said thus, "What would you ask to learn of us?" This is one of the sons. "We are ready to die rather than to transgress the Torah of our fathers." See, the brothers, one of the sons said, "Look, what you want from us? Because if you think I'm going to eat that pig, you're out of your mind. I'll die before I eat that pig." See, I'm talking about the resolve that we're going to have, brothers and sisters. That's why I tell you, sisters, you're going to have a man who's strong in the knowledge, in the word, in the presence, and the power of Yah. Because he's going to have this kind of resolve that these 7 brothers had. This is not written for no purpose. This is written for our acknowledgement to let us know in the tough times that are coming, you had better have that kind of resolve. And if you can't resist eating a damn pig, you know good so damn well you ain't going to resist them telling you what you need to do for things to go back to normal, talking about the jab and all of that. Many of them already doing. I already told you the effect that it's having on people. They can't even resist that. You think they're going to protect you? You think if given the option that they can live, but they're going to ravage your body, ravage your little daughter's bodies, but let them live. You don't think that if they can't resist putting down pork, you think they're going to be able to stand and resist them? No, because they're so gluttonous, so you can't resist what y'all tell you not to do, sisters and brothers. How are you going to stand before these heathens or these Gentiles and fight against them? When Yah has already told you, these are the things I need from you. I need you to be in obedience, at least the things you can do. Many say, well, you can't keep all of that. I agree. But you can damn sure stop eating pork. I mean, these men told this man clearly. And they told it to the king. They weren't messing around. These were not cowards. They went to the person who was in charge of everybody. I ain't doing it. If that's what you asked us to do, we ain't doing it. Most of you guys most of you men so cowardly, you want to tell your own women no. When they need to be told no. And every now and then, she needs to be told no. And she knows it too. So, sister, if he can't even stand up to you when you're wrong, you think he's going to stand up against them to protect you? No, just like he succumbed and become, whatever it is, emasculated, whatever, just, whatever he becomes when you pretty much tell him to go sit his ass down or whatever, shut up, whatever. You think if he can't even stand up to you, honey, he damn sure ain't gonna stand up to them. Matter of fact, he gonna be running there screaming and hollering. You gonna probably be the one going to stand up and be the man. Mister, most of you already in there being the man. Why you want to be with a man and he ain't gonna be a man? I'm not talking about being with another woman, because that's an abomination and that will get your ass in hell just as sure as your name is whatever it is. Again, you're going to need protection, sisters. And you men, you're going to need protection too. Physical protection and spiritual protection, which is more important than the physical. But they both go together. It was Yeshua told them, yeah, believe on me, as the scripture says, but you also better have your gun. Praise Yah. Verse 2. But one of them spoke and asked and said, "What would you ask or learn of us? We are ready. We are ready to die. We are ready to die rather than to transgress or be disobedient to the book." He says, our fathers weren't disobedient. We're not going to be disobedient. I say that to you right now, my sisters and my brothers. Our fathers were not disobedient. We shouldn't be disobedient. Then the king then the king being enraged, he got viciously mad when they told him that they were not going to eat that pig. He got vicious with them. Oh, you not going to eat the pig? Because he knew that pig would cause them to be an abomination before Yah. He knew that. And so he knew that by eating that filthy beast, it would be in rebellion to Yah. It would cause your blood system and your brain to malfunction. Cause you to be, a lot of you got to think about it, when you start eating a lot of pork, eating that damn pork every day, your pressure goes up. Your stress goes up with the pressure. Your internal organs start to malfunction. That's why they want you eating it. Because they know it's going to harm your body. A lot of you women or men are obese and sick. And what's the number one thing on your diet? Pig food. Eating of the pig. Or do you let these lying devils tell you, oh, y'all say everything is blessed? That's lying stuff. If it was blessed, it wouldn't harm your body. Yo, are you serious? So y'all gonna tell you, I'm blessed, but you're gonna die from high blood pressure because you're eating pork. That makes no sense. That's a lie. That's someone added to the book. Why? For your demise, for our people's destruction. Because they know that our people have to keep the commandments. They don't. Yah does not judge them when they eat filthy swine or pig flesh. He judges us when we eat it. So put it down. Right now. Don't eat it ever again. Quit. I quit eating that filthy pig almost 30 years ago. And you know how I quit? I quit cold turkey. I just one day got up and said, I ain't eating it anymore. And I was done with it. And y'all might, unless I was somehow or another in some chemical or something, or some preservative that I knew nothing about, I have never put that filthy thing in my mouth ever since. And you already, we're not getting into age again, but I am very healthy. I'm not on any medication. I am 180 pounds. I am the exact same weight I was at 19 years old, guys. And healthy. And when I put that pig away, I stopped having headaches, migraines, things like that. I started dropping weight. I got my energy back. I got strong. I got clarity of thought back. All those are the benefits of not putting that filthy, detestable beast inside of you. This thing is full of poison, guys. When you eat it, you eat what it eats. It eats its own offspring. It eats its own shit. It eats maggots, dead things, human bodies. They used pigs during the Civil War to eat the dead corpse of the soldiers of the battles. The farmers would open up their pig pens, and these pigs would go out on the battlefield, and you could hear them overnight. It's written in a book. I think, what's his name? I think Malice Towards None is the book that I have it in. And it talks about the Civil War. And it talks about at night they could hear the pigs eating dead bodies. That's in these diaries, in these men's diaries, these soldiers' diaries. They say they could hear the pigs at night eating the dead bodies, and they can see them on the moonlight, on a night that's lit by the moon. They can see the pigs all out there eating the dead corpses. Rotten corpses. These pigs were eating it up. And the next day people were eating them same damn pigs. Chitlins and all that crap. None of that stuff, guys. You got to let all that stuff go. It is against the Torah. It is against the Most High. If these men had to die not to eat it, you can't eat it either. But we're talking about conviction here. What conviction do you have? If you have no conviction, you're not going to be able to stand in the time of trouble, which is here and soon to come. I'm telling you guys. Again, as they showed up out of nowhere in D.C., and they all knew they were going, they're not telling you. They're going to show up sooner or later in our communities because they're going to blame us for everything that's wrong with this country. I'm telling you. And no one is going to stop them but your man and a woman who is with a man who is ready to fight too. Sisters, you got your guns? Sisters, do you have your guns? If don't, go buy one. If you took the stimulus money, don't buy a television. Go buy you a handgun and get some training how to aim it and buy you some ammunition before it's all gone. This devil Biden is going to make sure, if you better be careful, ladies, you guys better get this stuff while you can because he's trying to pass laws right now where it's going to be very, very difficult to get your hands on a weapon. And ammunition, don't even think about it. You guys better act now. You're out of time already. And we've been talking about this for years on this channel. None of you guys have an excuse. You've been following this channel for years. You know I've told you over and over and over, get yourself a weapon. I told you the book, Yeshua told you to get yourself a weapon. So if you're not going to listen to me, are you going to listen to him? Please, please, please. Well, let's get back to the message. And he said, I'd rather die than to violate the Torah of my fathers. Then the king became enraged and commanded pans and skillets to be made hot, which forthwith being heated, he commanded to cut the man's tongue out of his mouth that first spoke. The first son that spoke of, he cut his tongue out, and then he cut off the uttermost parts of his body. And the rest of his brother and his mother was looking and watching. Cut out his tongue, probably cut off his fingers, cut off his ears, cut off his penis. That sound familiar? Does that sound familiar to any of you guys? That kind of behavior. Does that sound familiar? Since you don't think the book is talking about us. Let me show you something. This book here. Can you see that? The name of the book is Without. Can you see that? Let me see if I can turn that straight. Without Sanctuary. Can you see that? This book cost me over $100, I'm sure. But this book is a photograph of lynchings. Let me show you something. You heard me say they cut these men. And look, the Bible is, look, guys, the Bible is the truth. Okay? The cipher is the truth. They cut this man all their uttermost body parts off. And they burned them, right? They put a skillet, right? And the heat, you heard them talking about, they heated up. In other words, they made a wood pile, to take and fry and cook his ass. Look what they were doing to our people not even 100 years ago. Look at, not in slavery, I might add. Look at this mob, and I want you to notice, right in the middle of the mob, you're going to see a black man who they're burning. And when this man was screaming and howling, and he was almost there, they had that rope, they would pull him out the fire, so that he wouldn't die. And then when he stopped screaming, they would put him back in the fire. And then when they finished, they cut off all of his parts, and they sold them off as souvenirs, in some cases for food. Look at this. You see him? Look at him. That's him, right there in the middle. They're burning him. Who's burning him? You see that rope? See the guy with the white shirt on? He's the one pulling the rope up and down. Look at his body. See how his body is beaten and bruised and burned and swelled? See that? And now look at the people. Look at this mob. Look at them. Look at them, guys. Hundreds of people standing there looking. Look at that. Hundreds and hundreds. All Gentiles. All Gentiles. And nobody's doing anything to stop it. Nobody. They're all just onlookers. Just like D.C. Nobody did anything to stop them. So when I'm telling you that they're coming, they're coming. They are coming. Let me get back to the book. To this book. This book is, by the way, it's called Without Sanctuary, and it's a book of pictures. It's got all of the atrocities that were done to our people in the 20th century. The late 19th century and the 20th century. You guys don't know that was, if you're older than 22, you were born in the 20th century. So if you're 22 years old or older, you were born in the 20th century. This happened in the century that you were born in. Show you that this was not that long ago, it's my point. It was not that long ago. Okay? Let's get back to the book. After he cut his tongue out and his uttermost body parts off, and the rest of his brother and his mother was looking, now when he was maimed in all of his members, all of it, see, maimed means he was wounded, cut, slashed, cut up, sliced up, in all of his body members. See, when I said penis, some of you guys were like, well, no, they said all of his members. Your penis, the man's penis is a member of his body. His fingers, his penis, his ears, his eyes, his mouth. They were cutting everything. They were maiming everything. Maiming means to damage it severely. And now when he was maimed in all of his members, he commanded him, the king commanded him, yet being alive, to be brought to the fire and to be fried in the pan. They fried this man in a pan, just like they're frying this man here at the stake. Frying him. Now you tell me what kind of crime he had to commit for them to if you're going to hang the man, hang him. If you're going to put him in the electric chair, put him in the electric chair. If you're going to put him before a firing squad, put him before a firing squad. Why did they have to burn him? And he's naked, by the way. They stripped him down to his bare body. No clothes on. Totally humiliated him in front of all of these people. Can you imagine what his state of mind must have been? How horrified this black Judite brother had to have been? They stripped him naked in front of men, women, and children, and then they burned him alive at the stake, as they burned this brother alive at the stake. These people don't change, it's my parent, I'm telling you. These people don't change. They tell you, oh, that was in the past, y'all living in the past. That's a lie. That's always their excuse. That is always their excuse until they act out their viciousness. Then it's, well, you know, they deserved it. They got what they got what they had. They got what they deserved. They had it coming. But until that moment, oh, you're in the past. Well, why y'all past haven't changed, Mr. and Mrs. Gentile? I'm reading to you right now the book things y'all did 1,000, 2,000 years ago. Maybe even a little longer than that. And you were doing the same thing 100 years later. The exact same thing you were doing. I'm sorry, 150 or 60 years. No. In the last 100 years, you were still doing what your ancestors were doing thousands of years ago. Because these were Grecians, these were Romans, white people, to be exact. Killing our people, to be exact. Because we refuse to obey their law, to practice their customs, to practice their traditions. Because we were obeying the Torah. And they couldn't stand it because they saw us being blessed and being strong and being a mighty people and a united people. Okay, so they killed one of the woman's sons right in front of her and her other sons. And then look what happened after that. They fried him in the pan. And after the vapor of the pan was for a good space, that was for long, they dispersed him. And then they asked another one of his brothers. Then they exhorted another one with the mother to die manfully, saying thus, Yahuwah looked upon us, and in truth he has comforted us. Moses in his song, which witnessed to their faces, declared, saying, and he shall be comforted in his servants. I'm sorry, when he was thus maimed and all of his members, and he commanded him, yet being alive, to be brought to the fire. We talked about that. And then Yahuwah looks, and then the mother said, Yahuwah is looking upon us, and in truth he will comfort us, as Moses has also told us in the law, statutes, and in the commandments, which witnesses their faces declare, saying, and he shall comfort his servant. So she was saying, Yah got a place for us. If we die, we'll die. You're not going to scare me. You're not going to scare us. This is a woman. Now, this is the courage of a real woman of Israel, Judah. This woman is bold. They just maimed and fried her son, cooked his ass to a crisp right in front of us, and she was bold enough to say, no, we're following the law. I don't care. We're still going to follow the law because I already know the consequences that's going to happen to us if we don't. Think I fear you, or do you think I fear Yah? Do you think I'm going to fear what a man can do to me, or you think I'm going to fear what Elohim can do to me? She made the right choice. She said, no, I fear Elohim, not y'all. Y'all do what y'all going to do. Your demons are not going to stop you. Ain't nothing I'm going to say. Oh, I guess I can go eat the pig and then be a violation and be an abominable and be just and cursed to the most. That ain't going to happen. I'm not eating that filthy pig. Praise Yah. And so when the first was dead, after this number, they brought the second son and mocking him. And when they pulled off his skin off his head, they literally scalped this brother. They scalped him, peeled his skin off of his head. And with the hair, they asked him, will you eat? Before you be punished throughout every member of your body? See, they're talking about doing it to him, what they did to his brother. But he answered in his own language and said, no, N-O, no, I ain't going to do it. No, I'm not eating that pig. Now he just saw his brother get burned to death. and maimed maimed and skinned alive and burned and everything. And he still said he wasn't going to eat that pig. You see how serious this is, guys? You think, oh, you can eat it. I'm telling you, sisters, some of you women are guilty. Y'all frying this stuff up and serving it to these children. This pork this and pork that. This, you know what I'm saying? You getting your child conditioned to walk as an abomination before y'all mothers. This mother stood up and said, I ain't doing it. What are you saying, Mom? Tomorrow, some of you guys are celebrating that so-called Mother's Day holiday. You need to look at the roots of that. I ain't got the time for that. You follow me? So mother, so you won't be celebrated tomorrow. Are you leading your children to the slaughter? By feeding them the food of the heathen, the Gentiles, the abominable pig? Are you going to be feeding them that? Mom, who they love so much they're celebrating you tomorrow? Are you going to how are you celebrating them back? Are you giving them food for life, or are you feeding them food for death? That's your question. Deal with it. This brother said no. Wherefore he was also received the same torment as his brother did. So they cut him up, everything, they did the same thing. And when he was at his last gasp, he said, you, like a fury, take us out of this present life, but the King of the world shall raise us up, who have died for this Torah, unto everlasting life. That's what obeying the Torah will give us, will give you, my sisters and my brothers. Because these heathens are coming. You see, again, by the way, all 7 of her sons got the same treatment. None of them gave in. And guess who else got the same treatment? She did. Read the rest of chapter 7. All of them died. Nobody compromised themselves. Nobody ate that filthy pig. None of them did. So now we can eat the pig. They died for the pig. And y'all gonna somehow go. So how does that work? Yah is just. Yah does not change. He said, heaven and earth will pass away before one dot of the law passes away. Heaven and earth is still here, right? So how can Yah be just with a just scale, and he let these people die and be tormented and tortured for not eating the pig, but somehow now you can eat the pig? That would make him like a man, unrighteous, self-centered, wishy-washy, double-minded. No, that's not the nature of Elohim. I am Elohim, I change not, is his word. If it was not for them to eat, if it's in the law that you shouldn't eat it, you shouldn't have eaten it. They weren't supposed to eat it. These didn't eat it. You shouldn't be eating it. Okay, it is what it is. But I'm talking about now resolve. There's going to be a fight to the death, my brothers and sisters. And it's going to come from the people at the top. This was the king. This was Joe Biden. This was Joe Biden pushing this agenda on our people. Just like Joe Biden is pushing that agenda on our people. The Johnson & Johnson agenda. The Moderna agenda. The Warp Speed agenda. This is the king pushing this agenda on our people. And our people need to rise up and stand against it. Some of us will, many of us will not. And I'm already telling you, I reported what I heard. Not lying. That's this, that may be just an isolated group. But all 3 people I know, all 3 of them weren't feeling so good. And they were feeling just fine prior to. And I'm talking about that over a week had passed and they still weren't feeling good. Missing obvious things, confused, all kind of stuff. I'm just saying. That's how they felt. I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving you any medical advice. I'm not giving you some type of medical analysis. I'm not qualified to do that. And so I'm not doing that. So please don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I'm not your doctor. I'm just telling you what these folk told me and that what I saw with my own eyes. That's all I'm saying. Period. Do what you're going to do. You think some of you gonna stop eating pig after I told you about the pig? Of course you're not gonna stop. Think us telling you about, what you should not be letting this government or the president or whomever pushing this shit out here, talking about we're the targeted group and we're the group at most risk and we're making the rest of the country vulnerable, which will be another justification for harming us, by the way. It'll be another justification for harming us. Because what percentage of people who are resisting it more than any other people? Our people. So they're going to blame us for the contagion. They're going to blame us for the country not opening back up. They're going to blame us for things getting closed down again. They're going to blame us for the economy going up because people are not working because we won't submit. I'm just telling you. It's coming. And you say, well, I submitted, so they shouldn't have no problem with me. Son, daughter, you think they're going to come to you and say, let me see what you got. When these people come, you see how crazy they were in D.C.? These people are not going to stop and ask you no damn question. They're going to split your head open. They're going to split your head open and ask questions. They, we didn't know. Shit, we had no time to sort them out. Kill them all. Let y'all sort them out. That's their mentality. Kill them all. Let y'all sort them out. Sort out the good ones. That's their mentality, by the way. None's going to protect you, sisters and brothers, but Elohim, the Rahuk. Nothing. Well, let me show you a couple other things. And this book, again, it's pretty expensive, so I don't expect you to go out and invest in it. I've invested in it and I've read it, and I'm telling you, there's some stories in there so horrible that it would just break your heart. I'm just going to show you just a couple of pictures. You know what I'm saying? Just so you understand. Look at this, brother. Look at these brothers. They were even making postcards. Now that's what they thought about. This is the humor. They got a postcard. They were mailing back postcards of slaughtering our people. See the postcard down at the bottom? Can you read that? Kind of upside down. I think it's written sideways. Look at this. A mask hanging. Look at that. See that clothes all ripped off their bodies? A lot of these men were raped, by the way. Before they hung them, they sodomized them. Just so you guys know. And again, these are not slave pictures. They would have never did this to their slaves because slaves were property, were money. They know damn well they were going to kill their horse when they need that horse to plow that field. They might try to restrain it and do some other things to it, but they damn sure wasn't going to kill it. They were too expensive. They might make an example of one, but they weren't killing the rest of it. They didn't have that kind of money to burn. They weren't fools. This was well after slavery. Again, the 1900s. If you were born in 19-something, then you were born in that same, century that this stuff happened. Your grandparents probably were around doing this, or at least your great-grandparents. Well, some of our grandparents, my grandparents were around when this was happening. My grandparents were young adults when it was happening. This one here, on the light post. Does that look like an organized lynching? Does that look like a man committed a crime? They wouldn't have hung him for no damn light post. This is racial hatred. This is how they feel about Judah. Here's another situation. Look at this. See that? All four of them. See that? When you hear, us talking about the viciousness of the Gentile, a lot of you guys think, oh, you just being racist. How am I being racist? How? This is what they did. This is what their parents did. Look at this man. Hung him right next to his coffin. Oh, you notice his behind is showing? Now, here's the question for you. Why is his pants down? Huh? Why is his pants down? And for you young fools out here sagging, look at this. This ought to make you want to pull your damn pants up, if nothing else does. But look at this. Why is his behind showing? Huh? Because he probably was raped. I just told you that. There's no other reason for his pants, his ass to be exposed. No reason for that, other than that reason. And got his coffin right next. Look how vicious. Look at this one. He's burned. Look at this. They burned him so bad, and then they put a towel around him and raised him up, so you couldn't see they cut his penis and everything off. Look at it. He's burned to a crisp. Look at his arms. Look at his face. Look at it. Look at his legs. His legs are gone. His feet are gone. You see what I'm talking about? Look at that. This is what they did. Look who did it. Look. Look who did it. Look who did it. And matter of fact, that's who did all of these that I'm showing you. And this book has hundreds of pictures in here like that, in different time frames. Yes, y'all did it. You Gentiles, you Europeans, whatever the hell you're calling yourselves today, white people, your ancestors, y'all did it. Y'all did it to our people. Where are the pictures of us doing it to you all? Show me the pictures where our people were burning your people at the stake. Show me the pictures where our people were hanging your people. I'm talking about in the last 50, 60, 70 years. Show me the pictures. Show them to me. We're not the same people. That's the problem that you're going to have to deal with. We're not the same. Because if we were the same, we would be vicious animal dogs like many of you are. Not all of you. Not all of you. I'm not blaming all of you. But at the end of the day, it was your people who did this to my people. And I'm not supposed to have any kind of righteous indignation behind this. I'm supposed to be soft-spoken and forgiving about this. And you're still doing it now, shooting out men and women down in the streets right now? You're still doing it? You have changed nothing? And I'm supposed to be soft-tongued and forgiving? You are a damn lie. No way. I hope I see you before you see me if you coming for blood. Because I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to meet fire with fire. That you can believe. And there's a lot of brothers who think just like I think. And some sisters too, I might add. Enough of this. But Judah, I'm warning you. These people are not playing. Look at this. Look. Look. You see that? You see these two brothers? Look at the people. Look at that's a kid right there. Him. See him right there? Look at him. Does he look upset? Do any of them look upset? Huh? Look at them. They're looking like they're looking pretty damn happy here. Would you agree? Look at them. Yeah, but you call them heathens, because only a heathen would do this to another human being. You would have to be human. Humans wouldn't do it to other humans. So only a heathen would do it to a human being. So when we call you heathens, you and your feelings, why? I'm not lying. Who does this? Show you a couple of more. This one is in 1915. If you see the date where my finger is, see that? 1915. It wasn't, you know what I'm saying? But look at them. They hung him. And look who did it. Again, look who did it. Does that look like policemen to you guys? Or does that look like a mob? And for you sisters who think you're going to be spared, look here. You see the woman with the dress on? Where is she? Right there, where my finger's pointing at. That's a woman. Just so you know. They hung her from the bridge. Look who did it. See them up there? Who do they look like? Whose ancestors are those? And whose ancestors are these? Both of these. Probably a husband and wife. That's the man right there, if you can see him. That looks like the police to you? What I mean by that, do you think they had a trial and jury? Did you think they had really committed a crime? This is the last one I have. Look at this. Look at this brother. Naked. And by the way, this was right before they killed him. Look at him. Right before they murdered him. Look at him. Now look at his buttocks. Do you see the marks on his buttocks? Look at the marks on his legs. Can you see that? The scars? I'm sorry. Can you see the scars on his legs? You see those scars? Look at the scars on his back and his butt. Look at his back. See the cuts? Look at that. Who do you think they beat it with? Canine tails. The same thing they beat the woman's sons with in first and second Maccabees. Cut his skin wide open. These people have been doing this for us for centuries, guys. For millenniums. Here's another one. This is the last one. Tell me what you noticed. Yes, you see him. He's hung. He's hung. All right? But look what he has on. Look. Why is he naked? Why? Because they cut off his uttermost parts. That's why he's naked. And who did it? There they go again. The same old folk. Same old folk. Same folk. And guys, I could go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And it's just, my. Here's one more, you know. Well, this is, I mean, here's the last one. Again, there he is. You see him? He's hanging from the tree. You see him? Look, you see his penis? He's naked. Why is he naked? Why is he naked? Because they were raping the men, sisters. They were raping our men as well. This is the behavior of the heathen. And I'm telling you, it's time to get ready. It's time to protect yourself. I don't care where you are. You're Midwest, Northeast, Southeast, South, West, the West, wherever you are, Northwest, you need to be ready. Because just like they stormed on the Capitol, they came from all over this country to let it be known that they are here. And that was a signaling to us. If we are in our right mind, if we have our eyes open, that they're coming. And nobody is going to stop them. Except for yourselves and those who you are prepared to resist unto death. And I think some of you guys are going to have to settle that in your minds. That old saying, everybody want to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. You got to settle this in your mind that some of us are going to have to die for. Many of us are going to die for it. And for the elect's sake, you're going to die like these 7 brothers died, righteous death, and their mother. You're going to die a righteous death. You stood to the death. You did not give up even unto death. And that's what the book says. You stayed true to the Torah unto death. But how are you going to stand true to the Torah unto death if you don't even understand? You haven't even studied. You're not even prepared. You're not training your children. You're still eating that filthy, nasty, dirty pig. When you know this should be enough for you to stop. If this story right here, a mother and her 7 sons were murdered because they refused to go against Yah and eat a pig. And many of our eating the pig, that pig was forced on our people. That was never a part of our diet. We are Yehuda. We're Judah. I said that right. We are Judah, Yehuda. We're Israel. We don't eat that. That's why they resisted, because they knew we weren't supposed to eat this. Again, if we're the target of this program, the indoctrination, the inoculation program, if we're the target of it because we're the sickest people, then the question you need to ask yourself, is the food you eating causing the sickness? Maybe if you don't eat the food, you're no longer sick. Now they don't have no excuse to talk about why it's so important that we do it. Why we're the emphasis we're the targeted people who needs to get it done. Maybe if we were healthy, we would take that excuse from them. Well, one way to get healthy, number 1, quit eating them nasty, filthy pigs. Number 2, get some exercise. Number 3, get your mind right with the word. Get back to the book. Come back home. And then let Yah build you up, get you strong, pull our families back together. Women, get you back under protection. Men, gird up your loins. Get you ready to pull out the sword and fight for your family. Fight for your faith. Fight for the way. Fight for the truth. Fight for Yah. After all, I'll tell you that. After all, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just, like Joshua said, Joshua 24:15. Y'all can do whatever y'all want to do, and I'm pleading with you not to do it. Don't get me wrong. Since sometimes I'll say y'all do whatever you want to do, like I don't care. If I didn't care, I wouldn't be sharing these messages with you. Of course, I care, but my frustration is that it's falling on deaf ears. That's my frustration. That some of you are going to agree, many of you will disagree. And you'll continue, you'll agree and continue your way, disagree, obviously you're going to continue your way. And you know that pig is making us sick as a nation of people. But like Joshua said, you're going to have to do what you got to do. But I know one thing. For me and those that I love, we are going to obey Yah. How about that? DFG, talk to you soon. Guys, they're coming. Sisters, they're coming. When that mob shows up, if you're not prepared, it's going to be too late. And they're coming. That was a demonstration to let everybody know that they're there and they're coming. That was a dress rehearsal. What you saw January 6th in D.C., well, you see how violent, how vicious they were? You see how violent and vicious they have been? How violent and vicious their ancestors were? Okay, if that's not enough to wake you up, then I guess you'll be burning at somebody's stake. You'll be getting sodomized if you're male, raped if you're female, and I guess, you'll see your children die right in front of you, and I guess you're good with it. Because I've given you enough information for you to do something about it. Praise Yah. Talk to you soon. DFG. Bye now.